So we're talking about what are those specific content assets, right? Now, you may not be able to see the first one, but this basically says brand activation. So there are three different types of content that we wanted to create. Brand activation content is content that creates attention and affinity for the brand and awareness for our clients' products. Demand generation content is that type of content which educates our best fit customers or our best fit audience and positions the brand as a go-to expert for what they offer. And finally, lead generation content is that content that captures and converts the best fit buyers who are ready to buy right now. So this is basically how you want to look at it in terms of audience size. So you have the mass audience, your target audience or your total addressable market, and then you have your best fit buyers or your ICP. Now your mass audience is where your brand activation content would come in. So your mass audience is actually a mix of both non-buyers and buyers, people who would have a need for your particular product or they may not have a need for your particular product, but they can actually help get your brand or create awareness for your brand to those who would actually have a need for your product. Your target audience is where you'd focus your demand generation effort. So that's basically who your potential customers or clients would be on a high level that you want to create that brand authority around. And then you have your best fit buyers who are the best and most ideal prospects who you'd actually want to target to maximize your ad spend and whatever other investments that you would actually use for this particular lead gen campaign. So let's put it in the context of our particular client and this particular go-to-market strategy. So for brand activation, this is what it looked like. So the first thing that we did is we craft a strategic narrative. Now, a strategic narrative is really that cross between, well, what's the story that the company or the brand wants to tell that would actually resonate with their audience, and then also what is it that the audience actually wants to learn or know about the brand that would actually create that affinity. So it's kind of like a cross between what the brand wants to talk about and what the audience wants to actually hear that's of interest and benefit to them. So once we craft the strategic brand narrative, then we worked with a PR partner to actually create a digital and offline PR campaign. Then once we did that, then we distribute across several digital and offline channels. So we include the traditional media like the TV, radio, newspaper. But then we also use social media as well to kind of amplify that message and post organically. And then as well for those particular traditional media interviews, really the television ones, then we would amplify the reach with social media ads and also amplify some of the videos that we did online as well. So a part of that strategic brand narrative that we use, we also incorporated interviews and testimonials from their best fit customers who really love the product, those ones who had the high success rate. We incorporated them as well as a part of the entire story that we were trying to tell about our client's brand, that will hopefully, or should I say, it actually did create some sort of affinity for those best fit buyers that we were trying to reach out to as well. Then our demand generation process is where we created content assets. So based on the interviews that we did, based on certain questions that we asked in the survey, we looked at what were the problems that either their high qualified leads were having or their current best fit customers were having. And we also looked at different use cases in terms of what scenario would have to be true that would cause a customer to actually have a need and use this particular product. Once we created all those different content assets, which would be whether it's a blog post, whether it's certain videos that we did for YouTube or even for organic social, then we distribute it across certain own channels, which would be those the company's website and blog, its YouTube channel, even though it's technically not owned, but we still would consider it owned in this particular scenario, and also their email. Then once we did that, then we repurposed those long form content assets for social media channels that we distributed. So small clips or certain graphics that would help to build that authority around certain topics that we identified that would have been of interest to their customers and audience. And then again, we amplify the reach with social media ads to give it more reach and reach a wider audience of the best fit buyers that we were trying to go after. Then finally, for lead generation efforts, we looked at what were the highest converting channels, which one of them I mentioned is Google. So we focused a lot around Google, where we created long tail keywords for paid search. So This kind of focused around those Google search ads, around those long tail keywords that their customers mentioned that they would have searched for, that led to our client's brand. Bottom of funnel articles as well, where we would focus around those same long tail keywords and create bottom of funnel articles with a call to action that says, hey, book a call with sales, or visit this product, or check out the product, or so on. Whatever strong call to action that would be direct response to lead to an actual lead being generated. And then we also tested out direct response social media ads because we wanted to see if there's something there. They didn't perform as well as the Google ads, but we still got some positive leads from those where we use Facebook and Instagram lead gen forms.